And we're back. I feel like I ought to come out here and try to do an Andy Williams, impersonation, except I can't sing, and do the Days of Wine and Roses. And that's because of, well, you'll meet her right now, Briana Hefley-Shepard. Good to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we're talking about a big to-do for the garden club at Woodward Park.
Yeah, so we have our biggest fundraiser is coming up Friday, September 27th, called Wine and Roses.
There it is. See?
I can't sing either, so I can't help you there.
That. Go ahead, please.
So it's an upscale garden party in the Arboretum as the sun sets, so you're surrounded by the canopy of the trees. There's restaurants, lots of fancy drinks, and your ticket gets you access to all of that, so you just walk around and enjoy. And
oh, well, not a problem. One of the things I noticed, imaginative cocktails. Mm-hmm. Really?
Yes.
I'm in. Count me in. It's an interesting concept, because I have to lay this out in front of the folks at home, because as I go through Woodward Park, I'm struck by two things. One, the natural beauty, and two, the work that goes into preserving that beauty. Yeah. I mean, that's a 24/7 job.
Yeah, it's 45 acres, and it's our staff, our crew, so Tulsa Garden Center, and then the City of Tulsa Parks Department gardeners, and then we have several different plant societies that work in different beds there as well. So there's a lot of hands, a lot of care that goes into maintaining what we all get to appreciate.
They do a marvelous job.
Yeah, they do.
Let's talk a little bit about the Days of Wine and Roses get-together.
Okay.
What all is going to happen?
So you'll show up, there's complimentary valet parking. We'll have live music by Grady Nichols. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Yeah, I know Grady.
So really great live performer with his full band. And then you just walk around and you enjoy. We're gonna have soft seating, really beautiful areas to just lounge and enjoy. Mm-hmm. We'll have a little cigar bar lounge. There's a wine pool, so you've got wine bottles wrapped up in brown sacks. You can't see what color wine, what type of wine, and you pay one price, and you may get a wine that's $100 value that you're getting for a fraction of that cost, and all that money goes back into the park. There's a raffle as well.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, lots of things to do. It goes by fast because it's such an eventful evening.
I can't believe we've gotten this far in, and I haven't even asked you, what do you do?
Oh, great question.
I mean, I'm here talking to this lady, and she's giving me all this information. I don't know what you do over there.
Well, I'm certainly not a horticulturalist. I'm the director of marketing and communications.
Got it.
So I get to talk to a lot of people like you and walk around the park and take pictures, which is one of the most beautiful parts of my job. And go speak to different groups and help promote our events and classes that we have coming up. So.
Well, now correct me if I'm wrong here, but aren't you open 24/7? Not 24/7, but 7 days a week?
The park is, yes.
Yes.
Park's open from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. Now the buildings have varying hours. So the mansion, I'm going to give you a lot of different hours. The mansion is open Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 4. The teaching garden is open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 4. And the conservatory is open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 3:30. We just switched to fall hours, so that's why it takes me a minute to recall that. And Saturday, Sunday, oh goodness.
Oh, forget it.
Okay, it's around the same as the weekday hours.
Call ahead. I can't tell you how many times I've gone by. We've been in the park a lot to take pictures, but I can't tell you how many times I've gone by and I've seen young brides in wedding dresses, and the pictures they've just got to be breathtaking when they come out. Can people just go in and do that, or do they need to call ahead and reserve a time?
Yeah, great question. If you're wanting to come inside with one of the facilities, you do need to schedule that ahead of time. But if you're just coming to take pictures in the park, you can just buy an outdoor photography permit and do that anytime that you want. But if you're using one of our indoor facilities or the teaching garden, you do need to schedule that.
Do you have a guide program available? Someone to say, well, hey, I'm from someone who's not familiar with it.
Yeah, we have
can walk you through and
docents
talk
who
with
are wonderful, and the docents headquarter out of the teaching garden. And so they can do some informal tours. If you have a large group coming, you can reach out to us beforehand and we can see if we can do a more formal
Always
tour for
call
you.
ahead.
I'm a big fan of the call ahead.
Keep it alert. Let's talk some more about the Wine and Roses event, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
because I think this is a worthwhile get-together. I think anything we can do to enhance the budget, these things don't run themselves.
Yeah.
And it takes folks like you who get out and spread the word. Is this event adults only?
Great question. 21 and up. So yes, yeah.
So you can't have a 10-year-old saying, I want to try that. Give me a sip of that, Daddy.
No, not at this event. Yeah, this is an adult only
It's not your
event.
first one either, is it?
Oh no, we started this in 1995. So that's the year I started driving. I know, I was putting those numbers together the
Wow.
other day. So I think that's almost 30 years, 29 years, right? And the Arboretum was established in 1964.
Really?
So this is its 60th year. So we're celebrating 60 years of the Arboretum at this Wine and Roses.
The history of the building itself,
Of the Arboretum, so the tree museum, if you will.
is breathtaking.
Yes, yeah.
Do you have any kind of a publication, a book, or anything on the history?
Yeah, so I made an informational graphic that has the timeline of all of the buildings and all of the land and the families that have lived on the land and the key players since the park began, actually before the park even began.
Well, I haven't seen it, but I can guarantee you without looking at it that it was that women played a major role.
Very much so, yes.
Because the way it happened, the men came here for the oil. The women said, wait a minute, we need a little culture. And they got it.
Yeah. I mean, from the very beginning of the story of the land, it goes back to women. Helen Woodward, this was her allotment, her creek allotment. She was a young girl when this was made into the land was sold and turned into a city park. And then the matriarchs of the mansion were key players throughout its history. So yeah, the women definitely made a huge difference in the history.
I want to thank you for coming by.
Thanks
I want to
for
thank
having
you for
me.
allowing us to toot the horn for you, if you don't mind my using an old expression. And we'd like to have you back again. I'd like to know how this went and what we can do to help for next year.
Well, thanks for having me, and I hope you're able to come to the event.
I hope I'm around to do it. Thank you again.
Thank you.
We'll take another short break and come back with one more segment right after this.